Mr. Clerk?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
The city announces that this meeting is being held in accordance with the Sunshine Law, a notice having been published according to law, with a copy on file in the city clerk's office and a copy posted on the bulletin board in City Hall.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia? Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Here.
Councilman Sims?
Here.
Councilman Greenman?
Here.
Mayor LaBrosse?
Here. Would everybody please rise for the flag salute, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Okay. I see no minutes to be approved, so there'll be...
The minutes are not ready from the prior meeting.
Okay, so there'd be no approval of the minutes tonight. First order of business tonight is Resolution 491-13 is appointment of the interim city manager. Do that, please.
Resolution 49113, appointment of interim city manager. Whereas the city of Hackensack is governed under the 1923 municipal manager form of government. Whereas Steve Loiacono will no longer serve as a manager of the city effective December 13th, 2013. Whereas pursuant to NJSA 40:82-6, the city council may appoint a properly qualified person to exercise the powers and perform the duties of the office of city manager during his absence. And whereas the city council finds it in the city's best interest to appoint Anthony Rutino as the interim city manager / director of economic development until a permanent city manager is hired. Therefore, therefore, be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack that Anthony Rutino be and hereby is appointed interim city manager, director of economic development.
Okay, may I get a motion to appoint Mr. Rotino as the interim city manager, director of economic development?
I'll offer.
Offered? Seconded? Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilman Sims?
Aye.
Councilman Greenman?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse?
Aye. Okay. The ayes have it. At this point, we'd like the city manager's report. Mr. Rotino. Didn't take long now, did it?
Thank you very much. I appreciate your confidence in me. Thank you. Well, considering I've been in the job about 36 to 48 hours, my report is what I've been able to put together for us since yesterday morning, but it's a lot of good news that I can report right now. We were able to collect $176,000 that was owed to us from the hospital in reference to crossing guards that was not pursued for a number of years based upon developers agreement from years ago. So last week, the hospital did send over $176,000+, which we greatly appreciate toward the end of the year. And they're going to be set up at a quarterly billing from now on. So every quarter, we'll bill them 1 quarter ahead. So this way we don't run into this problem again. Also, through the sale of vehicles that have been sitting around the city, so far we've raised $33,608. There's approximately 15 to 18 more to go. I've asked Art Coster, who was our superintendent of sanitation, to hold off auctioning off any others until after January 3rd. I figure with the holidays, you're not going to get much action on it. I prefer to try to get more money after the first of the year, after the 3rd actually. The weekend storm, I want to commend everyone. Consider it the first time that I've had to be involved in one to cover everyone from an economic developer's standpoint, the head of economic development. Everyone was responsive. I was in constant contact with Jesse and Art to make sure that we had enough salt, plows on the road and whatnot. And I'm pleased to say that it all went well. And it continues through today as well. However, there's some snow on the ground and the plows and salters are out now as well. I would also like to report that we have a new recycling contract that kicked in, that we went from getting no money per ton for commingled recyclables to $30 per ton. And from paper goods, we went from $60 a ton to $90 a ton. Our first check came in and it was over 100% higher than the prior month. Year to date, we've collected $63,323. I expect next year that to close to doubling based upon this new contract. On another note, Civil Service approved our plan to merge our welfare department with the Bergen County Board of Social Services. That will be effective on January 31st of 2014. On a note, the head of our welfare department is retiring on January 1st. We wish her all well. I know she has a situation with her husband, so we all hope that she's okay and he's okay. I know they have a lot to deal with. She's going to step down on January 1st. So to make sure that there's no lapse of services in any way, shape, or form, and that the people that need the benefits can get them, I spoke to the Bergen County Board of Social Services. We're going to speak tomorrow and set up a time where they can come in before January 1st to be ready so that the transition could start. They need 24 to 48 hours to really get the handle on everybody. We have about 100 people in the program. It'll also be easier for them because they will operate out here temporarily as long as we need to be, and they will no longer have to go to Rochelle Park, so it'll be one-stop shopping, for lack of a better word. Also, the good news is that there's 3 employees that are left there. One has resigned because she found another job within their field to stay in. 2 other people are going to be able to maintain positions within the city through attrition, and it won't affect their budget. At the end of the day, we will save over $400,000. The people who need the service will receive it here, and we're going to go from a cost per client of over $4,000 down to 0. So I think that it's, hard work, and it paid off for everyone at the end, and you know what, I appreciate everyone's help in getting this done. The last thing I'd like to put up forth is, as we can see, there's been a lack of an accounts receivable department, person, of any type, and we found it started, the SRO, there's leases on Green Street that came up as an issue. I don't know where the bottom of it is, to be quite frank with you. Every time you turn around, it seems to be something else. So I've instructed our auditor, DeMaria, to get me a report of all the receivables that were owed. I mean, some of these things we may never find because a lot of contracts that he did request prior were not to be found. But I think it's important that we owe it to the people of Hackensack to really find out, if we can, what is out there that's still owed to the city, and pursue it to the best we can. So I actually spoke to him about that. We're going to meet between now and Thursday to set up a reporting system and how quickly he can turn around for us. So I thank you for the opportunity again to serve, and I'd like to turn it back over to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, the next resolution, number 7, please.
Resolution 49213, authorizing Thomas P. Scrivo, Esquire, to execute documents in the absence of the city clerk. Whereas the city of Hackensack is governed under the 1923 municipal manager form of government. Whereas pursuant to NJSA 40:81-9, the city council shall be the governing body and shall have and possess all administrative, judicial, and legislative powers and duties now had, possessed, and exercised by the governing body of such municipality and all other executive or legislative bodies in such municipality, and shall have complete control and supervision over the affairs of the municipality to be exercised in the manner herein prescribed. And whereas pursuant to NJSA 40:81-11, the city council has the authority to appoint a municipal clerk. And whereas pursuant to NJSA 40A:9-133, the city council, upon occurrence of a vacancy, may appoint a municipal clerk within 90 days of such vacancy. Whereas Deborah Heck resigned as city clerk on December 6, 2013. Whereas the city council has not yet found a properly qualified person to fill the position. And whereas the city council desires and finds it in the city's best interest to authorize Thomas P. Scrivo, Esquire, or his designee to execute and sign any documents necessary on behalf of the city clerk until such position is filled. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the city of Hackensack that Thomas P. Scrivo, Esquire, city attorney, or his designee be and hereby is authorized to sign and execute any documents necessary on behalf of the city clerk.
Okay, may I have a motion to appoint Thomas P. Scrivo, Esquire, as city attorney or his designee to fill in on behalf of the city clerk?
Offered.
Offered?
Second.
Second, roll call?
Councilman Pataglia. Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Aye. Okay, moving forward. Number 8.
Number 8, Resolution 49313, appointment of Bergen Risk as a third-party administrator. Whereas the city of Hackensack has a need to retain a third-party administrator to administer the city's workers' compensation, general and auto liability, self-insurance program as a non-fair and open contract pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 19:44A-20.4 or 20.5. Whereas the city is currently a member of the South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund, which provides the city with a variety of insurance coverage. Whereas a prerequisite to the city's membership in the South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund was that the city be required to utilize and engage Bergen Risk Managers INC as a third-party administrator for all claims within the city's self-insured retention. And whereas Bergen Risk Managers INC has submitted a proposal setting forth that they will provide third-party administrator services for $62,850. And whereas the city has previously determined that Bergen Risk Managers INC was qualified to provide third-party administrator services, and whereas this contract has been previously awarded to Bergen Risk Managers INC through a non-fair and open process pursuant to NJSA 19:44A-20.4. And whereas Bergen Risk Manager currently operates as a third-party administrator for all South Bergen Municipal Joint Insurance Fund claims within the city's self-insured retentions. Whereas the City Council finds it to be in its best interest of the city to enter into a professional services agreement with Bergen Risk Managers INC for the professional specialized services pursuant to the same terms and conditions as the existing contract. Whereas such professional services will be rendered or performed by a person authorized by law to practice a recognized profession and whose practice is regulated by law pursuant to NJSA 40A:11-5, subsection AI of the local public contracts law. And whereas the local public contracts law requires that the resolution authorizing the award of contracts for professional services without competitive bidding, and the contract itself must be available for inspection. Whereas it is the desire of the City Council of the City of Hackensack to retain the services of Bergen Risk Managers INC to serve as a third-party administrator in an amount not to exceed $62,850. And whereas certificate establishing that funds will be available will be issued by the Chief Financial Officer. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the City of Hackensack that Bergen Risk Managers INC will complete and submit a business entity disclosure certification which certifies that Bergen Risk Managers has not made any reportable contributions to a political or candidate committee in the City of Hackensack in the previous year, and that the contract will prohibit Bergen Risk Managers INC from making any reportable contributions through the term of the contract. And the mayor be and is hereby authorized to direct and execute a contract with Bergen Risk Managers INC for the calendar year 2014. Number 3, this contract is awarded without competitive bidding in accordance with the local public contracts law. And number 4, the business disclosure entity certification will be placed on file with this resolution. And number 5, city clerk be and hereby is directed to retain a copy of the contract for public inspection and to publish notice of this action in the Bergen Record.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll offer.
Offered? Seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Aye. And I also want to mention at this time, and the city manager can actually fill me in, or fill the public in. That price was, they waived I believe they waived an increase on this year's premium.
Yes, they did, Mayor.
Could you inform the public, please?
Yes, Mayor. When I came in to office yesterday, I found paperwork that was left for me to go through and review for the year end that we needed for next year. And the Bergen Risk contract was there, and they asked for an increase of around 2%. I called them up and told them in the position now coming in, I was uncomfortable without going, and I know they do a great job for us, but I was uncomfortable with any type of increase at this point, considering the economic condition of the times that we're going through with tax appeals and whatnot. So the gentleman was kind enough to revisit it and came back and kept the rate flat for us, changed the contract and resent it over. So we kept the same rate for 14 as we would have had for 13.
Okay, would you be so kind as to thank them from the citizens and from the mayor and council?
Absolutely.
For that, thank you. Number 9, it's time to pay the bills.
Resolution 49413, payment of bills. Be it resolved by the City Council of the City of Hackensack that the bills in the following accounts be and are hereby ordered paid. And then the total expenditures is $12,280,077.95 for that.
Okay, may I have a motion to accept paying the bills, please?
I'll offer.
Offered?
Second?
Seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Aye. Okay, and we have a consent agenda tonight, which is a bundling. There's quite a few. So, Mr. Clerk, would you please read the consent agenda?
City announces that the following items are considered to be routine in nature and will be enacted in one motion. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any item requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda, and the consent agenda items will be reflected in full in the minutes, including any exceptions and/or additions. Resolution 49513 is snowplow front end loaders. Resolution 49613 is overpayment transfer tax Bailey. Resolution 49713 is HIV/AIDS testing program Health Department. Resolution 49813 is tax refunds. Resolution 49913 is raffle approvals. Resolution 513 change order number 1 narrow banding project Police Department. Resolution 50113 engine 2 firehouse rehabilitation Fire Department. Resolution 50213 Chapter 159-2013 body armor replacement. Resolution 50313 Chapter 159-2013 HAPADA. Resolution 50413 CDBGs. Resolution 50513 amendment to Resolution number 423-13 rescinding fire hydrant for Van Wettering Place. Resolution 50613 authorization for fire chief to enter into memorandum of understanding. Resolution 50713 emergency repair of front loader number 226 sanitation department. Resolution 50813 2013 budget transfer. Resolution 50913 extension from United Water Cedar Ave. Resolution 51013 veteran tax exemption ramp. Resolution 511-13 cancellation of emergency appropriation. Resolution 512-13 2014 board appointments. Resolution 513-13 recreation refund Alvarez. Resolution 514-13 emergency repair of catch basin 41 Main Street. Resolution 515-13 pedestrian safety improvement Hudson Street and Main Street. Mr. Mayor?
Okay, that's it. May I have a motion, please, to accept the complete consent agenda? Offered.
Second.
Seconded. Roll call, please.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Aye. I just want to speak real quick. We noticed there was board appointments. It's that time of year where board appointments have expired for some folks, and some new people have been appointed. I believe some of them are here tonight. I want to acknowledge you and thank you for volunteering to serve on these boards. It's very important. There's quite a few board positions were filled. I'm not sure how many, but quite a few new appointments, and we're looking forward to you guys doing a great job for the city, and we appreciate your support and your help. Thank you. Okay, moving forward, I would like to make a motion to open the meeting to the public. Or I'd like to have a motion, I'm sorry.
I'll offer.
Offered?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Freeman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Aye. Okay, at this time, we'll open the meeting to the public. Come up to the podium, give your name and your address to the city clerk. We have a 5-minute rule. We're sticking strictly to the 5-minute rule. There's been a lot of people at the meetings, and it's only fair that we keep this to 5 minutes. Having said that, if you have the need to say more or more questions, feel free to grab any council member after the meeting or make arrangements to meet with myself or any council member, and we will be glad to discuss any issue with you. Okay, would anybody like to speak at this meeting? That's you, Paul.
Good evening, everyone, Mayor. and
Good evening,
council.
sir.
I'm Paul in Calcaterra, the First Ward, Broadway. I'd like to address the situation with Hudson Street and Broadway where we live. The area is starting to get a little bit shady. And I'm asking that we pursue that, getting a camera on Hudson Street now that we've gotten rid of that building that was supposed to be a substation, and there are funds that I think now have loosened up. So I think it's a good idea that I know myself and a few other community members would like to pursue that, and so that we can have a camera and see where, unfortunately, some of the homeless do inappropriate things. So I'm bringing that forward. The second thing I'd like to bring up is that I teach ESL, and I pass by the courthouse daily, about 12 o'clock or so. And I often think of all the people coming out of that courthouse who want to have lunch. And I think it's probably a real nice idea if we could set up a situation, maybe in the spring, where we have the trolley or a vehicle that will pick up people from the Bergen County Courthouse and drop them off to the businesses that give lunch along Main Street. I'm hoping that, you know, with the economic development, that they'll be able to have tables there. And I know, going to the courthouse myself, that, gee, you know, you want to grab something to eat, but, you know, if you have an hour and 15 minutes, and, you know, you want to be back in court for whatever reasons that you need be, and if you could have a vehicle that would pick you up and say, gee, you know, I'd like to go to, you know, XYZ restaurant, and maybe do that on a 2-hour basis, say between 12 and 2 o'clock, and, you know, just make the round. Make use of, I know they have that little vehicle. I actually think the little jitney that they have down on the boardwalks in Atlantic City or something, that drive would be where you could just get right on. I don't know if that's a sort of an insurance thing, but I really would like to see, you know, people come in and sit down and eat, do what they need to do, and come back and capture that market. So I'm using my creative energy, and I'm passing that along to you guys. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. As far as the cameras go, I believe Police Mordaga has already spoken with, actually, I think Mr. Dibbs still here? About cameras, and we're looking into prices on those right now. We've also, as far as what you just spoke about with the trolley, we've been speaking about that also. It's part of the plan with the rehabilitation of Main Street. So, all right, and we're encouraging al fresco dining on Main Street. All right, thank you. Next, please. Good evening.
Hackensack. Happy holidays to you all.
Same to you.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name because you weren't on the mic at the time.
Sorry, Rhonda Bembry,
And what's your address?
Hackensack. Congratulations to the board members, and special congratulations to my friend, Ms. Stewart, on her appointment. I would just like some clarification about the police force. There are now 3 levels of law enforcement in our department. I believe there are H-cops, H-2s, and our traditional law enforcement officers.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please differentiate their duties, responsibilities, salary, criteria for promotion in each of the levels, and how the civil service exam impacts each level, and what the requirements are to be an H-2 and how they're selected, and what's the procedure for H-2s becoming city police officers, and are there any specific standards for promotion within the levels? Do the H-2s carry guns? Are their uniforms different? And how do they interact with the public?
Okay, why don't we, since you did that pretty quickly, we have some time, go through them, and I'll try to answer. I'm not going to, Mr. Bembry, I'm not going to be able to answer every question, but what I can, I will. So let's go through those questions real quick. If you could read, I didn't get a chance to write them all down, so.
What are their duties, responsibilities, salary, and criteria for promotion?
Okay, well, you mentioned the 3 levels. You have our regular traditional police officers, and that's all from within the department itself. H-2s are they're paid officers. Is this working? Paid officers, and they do carry a weapon. And I don't believe they get benefits as our other police officers do, and I don't believe they're civil service either. Same with the H-cops. The H-cops are not civil servants or civil service officers. H-cops, as you know, do not carry weapons, and they're strictly assigned details such as sometimes they'll help with traffic. If the light is out, they'll provide extra security for church functions or ball games, stuff of that nature. As far as specific duties for the H2s, that's going to be at the discretion of the police director, because they work directly for the police department. Okay?
So what's the difference, and why do we have H2s? And do the H-cops?
We felt the need to bring in H2s because, number one, we could, and it's a great savings to the city. Our department's been short on police officers, and this fills a void at a much less cost, and these officers can do things, especially like walking the streets, Main Street, walking the beat, basically, so to speak. So it saves money, and it keeps our more qualified, full-time, traditional police officers doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Are they police officers in the sense of the same?
They're called Special Twos. They're Special Two police officers. Yeah, this isn't working, Andy. Something's going on.
So can Special Twos ever become our traditional, and what's the mechanism for that?
Their mechanism is just like any other police officer, except they already have, the advantage they would have is they know the city. The city now knows them. So there is an advantage, so to speak. It's like working at any job. If you start at one position and you're, thank you, testing. Yes, and the training is different too. They receive full training. Some of them the H2s were already police officers.
Oh, okay.
It's possible. They come back and they do this to keep busy and obviously probably make some money. But also if a young man is interested in becoming a full-time police officer, he can go through the academy, he can be an H2, and he can move forward as positions open up in the police department and apply for that position. And it's actually a big advantage for the city because now you know if they're good or if they're not good. So it's like
H2s go to the academy,
they go to the academy, yes they do.
and they carry weapons,
They carry a weapon.
but they're
yes.
not the same as a traditional.
No,
Do they receive benefits from the city?
no.
Okay. And do the H-cops receive payment?
H-cops, I don't believe get payments. There are some specials that work church details and stuff that might get some payments, but the traditional H-cop, as we know them, no, they're not paid. They get a stipend for uniforms. That's it.
Okay, I've got 16 more seconds. So how does the civil service exam affect the H2s who weren't police officers and just not coming back for?
I don't think they're not civil service, so I don't believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't believe that the civil service affects them at all until they became on the traditional police force.
They have to take the test, a civil service exam?
In order to become a police officer, yes, not an H2.
So an H2 has to take the civil service exam to become a regular police officer?
Yes.
Time's up, Mayor.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening, peace and blessings to everyone. I want to just thank you, and I want to thank.
Name and address. to
Oh,
the clerk.
Brownita Sharif. I thought you all knew me. No, I'm only kidding. Second Street, Hackensack. I want to thank my family for coming out and just supporting me and friends in this weather. Thank you for the appointment. I won't fail you. When I got the call about the appointment, I was just so excited. I just couldn't believe that it's almost like a dream come true. We've been working so hard on trying to make something happen in the city of Hackensack, not only in our community, but for the whole city of Hackensack. And I appreciate the opportunity so, so very much. Coming on, when you guys came on board and we started talking about it with the home team and my Jumpstart team, Jamie Bland, the chairperson for our program in Patterson, who I work under, co-chair, I never thought this would even come into sight. We worked so hard before, and there wasn't even a word spoken. If I knew it was going to be this easy, I made a campaign promise to the community when you guys was campaigning. I told them whichever team got in, that I would work with them to try to get us a multicultural center and a community pool. I'm glad you were the team that came in. If I knew it was going to be this easy, I would have made a campaign promise about maybe lowering our taxes 50%. Because this one really, it really touched my heart that you guys responded so quickly. And even Mr. Rotini, last time we talked, I know we were talking about state aid and looking at a site, and you had checked into a few things, so maybe you could give us an update later or in the near future. I would love to hear that. But thank you so much. I'm just so appreciated. I just don't know what to say. When I was told, I had got a little speech together and was going, run it off like I was having an Academy Award or winning a trophy or something. Really, it means so much to me that I can serve this community, serve my children, serve my family, and just ask the questions without being afraid. And you know how I roll with the questions. And, I really appreciate it so much. So I just want to thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Quite welcome. Thank you. Next, please. Thank you.
Wow, how can I go behind that? Yes, my name is Jamie Bland in 2nd Street in Hackensack. The program is Jumpstart Community Training and Services, and I heard a lot about this great team here. And Mr. Sims, he actually, we spoke on several occasions about working with the youth here. We've been working for the last 13, I've been working 19, but for the last 13 years, Jumpstart Community Training has been doing a successful job. Actually, we have support from Congressman Pasquale and our state senator Nellie Poe, and we're here in Hackensack, and I have a dream team here in Bergen County. And like I said, Brownita Sharif is the chair. And I really would like to thank you guys for, if you don't know, letting you know that we are coming in here to help with the youth here. Our scope of services will be homework assistance, character development, job readiness training, and the arts. And we're just working on the prevention. And we have a number of educators that are here. Jumpstart, would you please stand up, everybody that's here this evening, and some of the youth as well. And what we want to do, and I know that Miss Carter will be standing up, one of my sisters right here too. But it's a lot of people in here that I know of that's been looking for something to come in to work hard while they can just kind of run things. So it's a team effort, and teamwork makes the dream work. And I thank you so much, Mr. Sims, because he's a very caring person. He might not say much, but he has a big heart. So we're all behind you. We're behind the rest of the team here, and I'm just glad to meet everybody. My name again is Jamie Bland, and anything that we can do to help keep the violence down. I mean, some areas are crime, so we want to make sure in the prevention we don't get that here in Hackensack. I am born here in Hackensack, and my family is here in Hackensack, and I'm just proud to see a great team that we've been waiting for, and Brownita has been talking, and like I said, Mr. Sims, we know where his heart is, so we know everybody up here is ready to roll, okay? So I just wanted to say thank you, and we're out here on the road, ready to get the job done. Okay, and save our youth. Thank you.
Thank you. She's right. Mr. Sims is kind of quiet, but when he wants to get something done, all of a sudden he gets a little not so quiet, right? God bless. Yes, ma'am.
Mildred Dotson, 60 Vanderbeck. I just have a question. But first I would like to congratulate the persons that was appointed to the different places. I know they will be well and serve well. But my question is, I want to know if the business owners that have businesses along Main and Linden and Hackensack are responsible for shelving their snow from the beginning of their business to the next business, and then the next business owner take up. I want to know if something is in place that they are to remove the snow, or if not.
Yes, they are responsible, just like a homeowner is. They're responsible for shoveling in front of their stores on the sidewalk. If, in fact, you see somebody that hasn't shoveled, you should call, or I guess, who would they call on that?
Or if there's a problem there that there's ice or snow that hasn't been removed, you call the city manager's office.
City manager?
Yes, ma'am. And then we could follow up with someone from DPW or constable to go out and check. Because what we'll do is we'll send someone out and we will ask them to clean it. And if they don't clean it, then the city cleans it and we bill them.
So, like how long, like if it snowed today, then does it have to be removed in a certain amount of time? Or
Well,
You know, like 6 or 7 hours?
generally speaking, within 24 hours has to be cleared and ready to go. We've got a situation yesterday where we sent people out and we notified them we had a complaint. We went out. It wasn't done, and the constable spoke to me earlier today, let me know we sent DPW out to clean it, and we're billing the homeowner, and what we do is we really put a lien on their taxes, so it has to be paid.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, ma'am.
Blanche Stewart, with regard to Hackensack, with regard to snow removal. I live on 3rd Street, directly behind the parking garage of Quail Heights. And for years, they have plowed their parking garage and dumped the snow over the side onto the sidewalk below. There can be anybody walking there who could get hurt. I've stated this before.
You tell me they take the bucket loader
They
and
take
dump
it
it over
over
the sidewall?
The snow plow, shovel it up and over the wall onto 3rd Street, onto the sidewalk on 3rd Street.
We will
I've
take care of
called
that.
before, I've called the police department before, with the last council, but I've gotten no relief. And it's
We will definitely
dangerous.
take care of that.
It's dangerous.
Yes.
What was the address on that again? It was Quail Heights, I got it on the 3rd Street.
It's, Quail Heights is between Prospect and 3rd, but they dump it over the wall onto 3rd Street.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your appointment, Connie.
Yes.
It's great to see so many friendly faces in the audience tonight. It's such a bad night with all this snow. These people are very dedicated. These were supporters, and they got your support, and it's a mutual agreement and understanding. Congratulations to all those people that got appointed on the various boards. They were the best people that were applied for the job, and I'm glad they were appointed. And it just shows a great sense of community here. A great sense of positiveness. Is that a word? And I think we're gonna. It is now. Okay, and I think we're gonna be moving forward in a great way. I know you have a lot of cleanup to do yet. It's amazing to see plus money coming in rather than going, because it's always been going out. And it's weird to see $176 coming from $1,000 come from the hospital. The Board of Ed should have taken the same way of dealing with it than the hospital did, because money owed is money owed. You just don't try to get away with it when you can. Congratulations. Now we could officially congratulate you. You could go clean off the car downstairs. There's a mess. And David's always been my favorite. He's been my son since '96. A quiet man who's done so much for the community, and now he's finally getting the cooperation of all these people who've been in the wings waiting to do something, that were always frustrated, always said we couldn't, we shouldn't, or we can't. So now that we're all moving forward, I'm just really happy about tonight, and Merry Christmas to everybody. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Danny Ferretti, 160 Union Street, Hackensack. How are you? Happy holidays and welcome, new city manager and Mr. Scrivo filling in. Just want to give you an update. I know last time we spoke, we were pending some issues at municipal court for parking violations. We took a progressive step today. City manager was involved for a brief period of time. And we probably resolved about 80% of those issues at this point in time with the municipal court. There is some stuff that was moved forward to January, I think 7th was a postponement. I'm asking the mayor and council, because my attorney had sent in some documentation requesting a cease and desist pending the verification of the verbiage of some of the summonses that are being issued. Never received a response back at this time from the city attorney. So I'm asking the mayor and council until the next court date if we could order a cease and desist on any future violations being written until we can get the language of the law set forth. And obviously we're taking progressive measures to accommodate all departments and resolve any unforeseen issues. I think in the past there's been a lot of miscommunication between departments. We have a new city manager in the interim that may not have our history, so obviously would take time to be updated. And once we complete the January 7th final court date, we would ask for a conjunctive meeting of all departments, being the police department, city manager, zoning, building, and any other departments that would have to be involved to have a future and forward path set forth so there's no more miscommunication. And that way, if a resident does have a question or concern, they can address it immediately and get a proper answer. In addition, one of the residents that have been before the board on a couple of occasions, Ferretti has taken an initiative step to approach them. We've made some good progression on what their concerns were, because obviously they've been coming here and not addressing them with us, so we took the liberties to go out and meet with them directly. Very, very positive outcome of that. We feel the resident was satisfied. They explained what their qualms were on behalf of the company. We went over our procedures and what we can do to help accommodate them. So I think there's been a lot done in the last, I would say 30 to 60 days. I just wanted to update you. I know we can't discuss much more until after the final outcome. But I'd like to thank you for your time and cooperation in the matters. And we're here to be a good neighbor, not a poor neighbor. But happy holidays to you and all on behalf of Ferret.
Same to you, Dan. Thank you.
Regina DePasco, Parker Avenue. I too would like to congratulate you, and all of you that have been appointments, a lot of appointments and a lot of changes. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. With the found money, that's a good thing too. Might I suggest, I don't know if developers agreements are in a certain spot that you could look at, but a lot of times that's where the money is. And especially with the hospital, I know they had an air rights bill they're supposed to pay. I don't know if it's being paid, but when they put up that walkway, they were supposed to pay money for that. So, I mean, that's a good place to start looking for money. What happened that we canceled this $5.5 million on the taxes? How did that happen?
Regina, we had, originally we had passed a resolution really that just enabled us to grow into a loan for $5.5 million. As you know, we've talked about this many times. The city right now is facing approximately 500 tax appeals that were backlogged that the city council has inherited from the prior administration. Due to the fact that we have, we're a new council, we have a new tax attorney. We were prepared for many of these judgments to be realized in 2013. We were able to move many of them into 2014. It's not that they're going away, it's just that we're not going to be responsible for it this year.
We're stretching it out.
Well, our tax attorney was able to have that happen, which is a good thing for us.
That's good.
So of the $5.5 million that, that was not borrowed, that was just put in place that we could borrow against.
It was authorized to.
Correct. The only thing that we had to borrow from that is $183,000. But we have paid approximately $2.7 million additional in tax appeals that we funded through our surplus. So we had, in total, we really paid approximately $3 million this year in tax appeals. But most of it we were able to fund through surplus.
Oh, good.
So going forward, we're going to have to be real cautious in our budget management, and we have to be real careful next year in anticipating these expenses.
Oh, good to hear. Also, I agree the cleanup from the storm went extremely well. I don't know whether it was because there was salt left from the first two storms, but when I was out on the road on Saturday, Hackensack was clear. And then I went into Maywood and it wasn't so good. But, Hackensack roads were beautiful on Saturday. So that was good. Today, I know you can't do much with what's out there today. But you all know I was extremely frustrated with the situation I had. Now, I was told by the building department, as far as ice on the sidewalk, to call the constable, which I thought was a ridiculous thing, because how do you reach the constable? And if it's not during business hours, city manager's not there. I mean, do you call the police? Are the police going to do anything? It's a frustrating, I had an extremely frustrating situation, but it's frustrating because you know what, snow does not melt in 20-degree weather. I'm sorry, but it doesn't happen. And that's what I was told where the ice came from, and I was also told I should call the constable.
You could reach out at Art Coster's office. Art Coster's a constable.
But that's only during business hours.
I'm just saying, I'm giving you asked
Okay.
to reach the constable. That's where they are during business hours.
But after, like, say you come home from work at 4 o'clock and find a problem, you have to wait till the next day?
Oh, no, up to, most of the time, here this hasn't been night lately, I haven't been gone before 6, but if you reach out and can't get somebody there and you call the police, tell us an emergency, they know where to track us down.
Okay, because we put the salt out in front of our house because we did not want to be held responsible overnight for the condition that was left there by somebody else, so. And, you know, it happens, not just me, it happens to a lot of people. I'm just more persistent than most. Thank you.
You. Is there anybody else who would like to speak during the public session? Wow, seeing none. I'd like to have a motion to close the public session.
I'll offer.
Offered? Seconded, roll call.
Councilman Pataglia.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino.
Aye.
Councilman Sims.
Aye.
Councilwoman Greenman.
Aye.
Mayor LaBrosse.
Aye. Okay, at this time, comments from the council. Mr. Battaglia, go first.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming, and I hope we see you more often. And I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas and have a safe and good holidays, okay? Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Rotino for agreeing to wear two hats for a while while we start our search and continue our search to find a good city manager, and I'm very confident that we will do so. So we appreciate that. He's not only going to be our interim city manager, but he's still our Director of Economic Development, so thanks a lot. Same thing for Mr. Joe Morris tonight, who's also wearing two hats. He's serving as our city clerk and our city attorney. So thanks, Joe. We're going to be doing a little bit of wearing two hats for a while, but we're confident that we're making good decisions and we're moving at a good, steady pace towards the progress that we put in plan when we were elected here to office. I'm really very, very appreciative of all the folks that sent in resumes and applied for the boards. I mean, that says to us that you have confidence in us. You took the time, you sent your resumes in, you volunteered to serve the community, and to be partners with us as council. And we were all very, very, very happy to see that response. And I'm pleased to report that the majority by far of our new board members, I think 90 to 95% of the folks that applied as new board members received a position on that board. And we really appreciate your contribution and look forward to having a very productive year and hearing lots of good things happening here in the city. Same as Mr. Battaglia, I wish everyone a happy holiday, a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a belated Hanukkah. Celebrate life. We have much to be thankful for, and let's enjoy the time with our friends and families, which we consider all of you part of. Thank you.
Well said.
This Saturday, we're having our first coat drive. What we need now is for folks to donate gently used or new coats. You can drop them off at the building department at 410 East River Road in Hackensack. The coat drive will take place this Saturday from 2 to 6 in the Civic Center. So if you have any coats or you know of anyone that needs a coat, it's cold, we are having our first coat drive. Also, me personally, I want the new members who got elected to the board, if you would just, so people can see you, come up to the podium mic and state your name and what board you've been placed on.
Good idea. If you've been appointed to a board, please step forward and state your name.
Regina, no one knows what board you're appointed to.
Nobody knows.
Come on, Regina.
Come on.
Come on, come on. Regina DePasqua, Planning Board, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Larry Eisen, Zoning Board.
Brownita Sissy Sharif, Recreation.
Candy. Thank you, Judy. Blanche Candy Stewart, Housing Authority.
Marie Dukes, Housing Authority.
So if you have any issues, you know who have been placed in these new boards, zoning, planning, housing, rec, seek them out.
That's right, recognize. Now you can recognize them.
Now I just want to wish everybody happy holidays. God bless. Take care. See you next year.
Okay. Glad to have Anthony on board. One more position. Congratulations. We have a lot of confidence in you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing for the city and for working with us so well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to you for doing your job, doing a great job, although you're not Mr. Scrivo.
No, I'm not.
We love you nevertheless. We will. We absolutely will. I want to thank you, everyone, for coming on this very slippery, unsettling weather. Congratulations to all the people who were appointed to various boards. I know you're going to do an outstanding job. I have a lot of faith in you. Happy holidays to everyone. Have a very happy, prosperous, healthy New Year. Drive safely, don't drink. Please. And if you drink, stay home. Enjoy.
Thank you, Ms. Greenman. Again, I want to really congratulate the appointed board members. And as promised, as part of our open and transparent campaign that we promised, all these positions were put up and advertised, which I don't think has ever been done before for all the boards. I can't verify that, but basically we put it out there for anybody to apply. And that's very important because I don't think a lot of people, even had an idea on how to get onto some of these boards. And we're happy to have you. We, as a council, we put you there. We expect you to work hard, as we know you will. And my tip for anybody is just when you're faced with a decision, just think in your heart what's best for the city of Hackensack, because that's when you're up there, that's who your best interest is, city of Hackensack and the people who live here. And that's what you need to do. I want to also thank Mr. Rattino for stepping in on this interim basis. It's quite a large undertaking. Not too many cities this size all of a sudden have no city manager or go without a clerk. Unfortunately, we're in that position, but I think we're going to be just fine. I think tonight's meeting went great, and I think everything's going to go smoothly. I too want to wish everybody a great holiday season. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive, like Ms. Greenman said. And, pay it forward, everybody. Pay it forward, all right? I want to wish everybody a good night. Thank you. Oh, real quick, hold on. I forgot. We're going to have, it's actually an emergency meeting that will be advertised December 27th. What time did you? 11:30. All right, it will be advertised, but I'm letting you guys know now that there will be a end of the year meeting, which we have to put together to finish up some year-end things before the calendar changes to January 1st. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you.